Chapter 1, The Shop That Shouldn't Exist. The rain poured endlessly over the city. Ethan Carter tightened his jacket as he locked the doors of the small convenience store where he worked the night shift. Another ordinary day. He sighed. 29 years old, and this is still my life. The streets were almost empty. Neon lights reflected across the wet pavement as Ethan began walking toward the bus stop. A loud horn shattered the silence. Honk. He turned. A speeding truck had lost control. There was no time to react. A blinding light swallowed everything. Silence. Then, a soft breeze brushed against his face. Ethan slowly opened his eyes. Blue sky. White clouds. Birds chirped overhead. I'm alive. He sat up in confusion. Instead of concrete roads, he found himself lying in a field of golden grass. In the distance stood stone walls surrounding a medieval town. Horse-drawn carts rolled along dusty roads. People wore cloaks instead of suits. What is this place? Memories suddenly flooded his mind. A sharp pain exploded inside his head. Images flashed before his eyes. A poor young man. An abandoned shop. Crushing debts. A lonely life. The memories stopped. Ethan breathed heavily. I reincarnated. He looked at his trembling hands. These weren't his original hands. The body belonged to another Ethan, a struggling shopkeeper who had died from exhaustion after failing to pay his debts. So, I'm the new owner now. He stood and followed the unfamiliar memories toward the village. After several minutes, he stopped before a crooked wooden building. A faded sign hung above the entrance. Moonlight General Store. The paint had almost disappeared. Broken windows. Dust-covered shelves. The roof leaked. It looked more like a haunted house than a business. An old woman passing by shook her head. Poor boy, you came back. What happened to this shop? Ethan asked. She hesitated. They say every owner of that store meets an unfortunate end. Most villagers buy elsewhere. With that, she hurried away. Ethan stared at the building. So, I inherited a cursed shop. He pushed open the creaking door. Dust filled the air. The shelves were almost empty. One cracked chair. A broken counter. 3 moldy sacks of flour. Nothing else. This is impossible. Just as despair began to creep in, a mechanical voice echoed in his mind. Open black lens bracket merchant system activated close black lens bracket. Ethan froze. A glowing blue screen appeared before his eyes. Host confirmed. Welcome, merchant candidate. Starter mission received. Mission: reopen the Moonlight General Store. Objective: make your first sale. Reward: beginner merchant gift pack ×1. Failure: no penalty. Ethan blinked twice. Then, despite the ruined shop around him, a smile slowly appeared on his face. If this world gives me a shop, he rolled up his sleeves, then I'll build the greatest trading empire it has ever seen. Outside, the old wooden sign creaked gently in the wind. The forgotten shop had awakened. End of Chapter 2. The Merchant System. Morning sunlight streamed through the cracked windows of the Moonlight General Store. Dust floated lazily through the air. Ethan stood behind the old counter, staring at the glowing blue screen that only he could see. Open black lens bracket merchant system close black lens bracket. Level: 1 apprentice merchant. Shop reputation: unknown. Funds: 10 copper coins. Inventory: empty. Current mission: make your first sale. Reward: beginner merchant gift pack ×1. So it's real, Ethan whispered. He reached toward the floating screen. As his fingers touched it, another menu appeared. Open black lens bracket basic trade close black lens bracket. A list of items filled the screen. Fresh bread. Soap. Candle. Salt. Sugar. Flour. Wooden bowl. Sewing needle. Rope. Each item had a small price beside it. They're all ordinary things. Then Ethan remembered the shelves. They were completely empty. If I can buy these items, I can actually reopen this place. He selected a loaf of bread. Purchase. Cost. 2 copper coins. Yes. A flash of light appeared. A warm loaf of bread landed on the counter. Ethan picked it up. It smelled fresh, as if it had just come out of an oven. He laughed. This system is incredible. Using the rest of his coins carefully, he bought a few bars of soap, candles, and small bags of salt. Within an hour, the empty shelves finally looked like those of a real shop. Not full, but alive. Outside, villagers walked past without even looking inside. The shop's bad reputation hadn't disappeared overnight. Hours passed. No customers. Ethan sighed. I guess rebuilding trust will take time. Just then, the bell above the door rang. Ding! A little girl peeked inside. She couldn't have been older than 8. Her clothes were patched in several places, and she nervously clutched a single copper coin. Excuse me. Ethan smiled warmly. Welcome. The little girl looked around in amazement. You actually have bread? I do. My grandmother is sick. Can I buy half a loaf? Ethan looked at the warm bread. Then at the frightened little girl. He shook his head. No. Her shoulders dropped. I understand. Instead, Ethan picked up the entire loaf and handed it to her. You can have the whole thing. Her eyes widened. But I only have 1 copper coin. Then 1 copper coin is enough. Tears formed in her eyes. Thank you, mister. She hugged the bread tightly and ran home as fast as she could. The shop became quiet once again. A moment later. Ding! Mission complete. First sale achieved. Reward received. Beginner merchant gift pack ×1. Ethan grinned. So this is just the beginning. He opened the gift pack. Golden light burst from the screen. Congratulations. You have obtained Merchant's Eye LV.1. 100 copper coins. Basic inventory expansion. Skill unlocked. Price appraisal. Before Ethan could celebrate, another notification appeared. New main mission. Earn 1 gold coin through honest trade. Reward. Shop upgrade blueprint. Ethan looked at the tiny wooden shop around him. Then at the growing list of missions. A spark of determination lit up in his eyes. 1 customer became the first step. He smiled confidently. And one day, this tiny shop will become an empire. End of Chapter 3. The First Reputation. The blue screen slowly faded. Ethan took a deep breath. So, I've got 100 copper coins. He smiled. That means I finally have enough money to stock the shelves properly. He immediately opened the merchant system. Open black lens bracket funds, 108 copper coins close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket Merchant's Eye LV.1 close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket price appraisal, active close black lens bracket. A new section had appeared. Open black lens bracket wholesale bundle close black lens bracket. Daily essentials pack 30 copper. Farmer's tool pack 45 copper. Traveler's supplies 50 copper. Kitchen starter pack 35 copper. So there are bundles now. Without hesitation, Ethan bought the daily essentials pack. Blue light filled the shop. Boxes appeared one after another. Soap. Candles. Salt. Sugar. Flour. Cooking oil. Wooden bowls. Needles. Thread. Simple towels. The once empty shelves finally looked like those of a real general store. Ethan couldn't help but smile. Now this feels like a proper shop. Outside, the little girl from yesterday ran through the village with her grandmother. Grandma, this is the shop. The old woman looked at the freshly cleaned storefront in surprise. I thought this place was abandoned. The bell above the door rang. Ding. Ethan looked up. Welcome. The little girl beamed. Mister, Grandma wanted to thank you. The elderly woman bowed respectfully. My granddaughter told me what happened yesterday. You gave us food when we had almost nothing. Ethan smiled. I'm just happy I could help. The old woman glanced around the store. These prices. They're cheaper than the market. At that moment, Ethan noticed glowing blue text above her head. Open black lens bracket merchant's eye closed black lens bracket. Name, Martha. Occupation, herbal gatherer. Trust, 18%. Needs, salt, flour, soap. So this is merchant's eye. It showed exactly what customers were looking for. Martha bought salt, flour, and a bar of soap. As she paid, 2 nearby villagers peeked inside. Is the cursed shop open again? I heard the new owner sells good bread. Curiosity overcame fear. One after another, villagers stepped inside. Some bought candles. Others bought sugar. A farmer purchased rope and needles. For the first time in years, coins clinked across the old wooden counter. By sunset, Ethan leaned back in his chair. The shelves were half empty. A pile of copper coins sat neatly inside the cash box. He opened the system. Open black lens bracket today's sales close black lens bracket. Customers, 12. Revenue, 46 copper coins. Profit, 18 copper coins. Shop reputation, unknown right pointing arrow friendly local shop. A soft chime echoed. Congratulations. Your shop has reached reputation rank, friendly local shop. New feature unlocked, customer requests. A board of glowing papers appeared. Customer request number 1. Need, 5 blankets before winter. Reward, 20 copper coins plus reputation. Customer request number 2. Need, iron cooking pot. Reward, 15 copper coins. Ethan's eyes lit up. So customers can place orders now. Just then, someone blocked the doorway. A tall man wearing expensive clothes stepped inside. His sharp eyes swept across every shelf. So, I finally found the man everyone in the village is talking about. Ethan looked up calmly. And who might you be? The stranger smiled, but there was no warmth in it. I'm Victor, the owner of the largest shop in this region. His smile widened. And I don't like competition. End of chapter 3. Chapter 4, A Merchant's Challenge. The shop fell silent. Victor slowly walked between the shelves, picking up a bar of soap before placing it back down. So, you are the new owner of this place? Ethan nodded. That's right. Victor chuckled. I've been running the largest general store in this region for 15 years. He looked Ethan in the eyes. And in just one day, you've stolen some of my customers. Ethan remained calm. I didn't steal anyone. They chose where they wanted to shop. Victor's smile faded. You've got courage. He placed a small silver coin on the counter. I'll buy every item in your shop. Ethan frowned. Every item. That's right. I'll empty your shelves today. For double the price. For a moment, Ethan was tempted. Selling everything at once would earn him a fortune. But then the merchant system flashed. Open black lens bracket warning close black lens bracket. A merchant who creates artificial shortages will lose customer trust. Recommendation, decline the offer. Ethan smiled politely. I'm sorry. I can't do that. Victor raised an eyebrow. You refuse. My shop exists to serve everyone in the village. If I sell everything to one person, no one else will have what they need. For the first time, Victor's expression turned cold. So you've chosen your side. He picked up the silver coin and slipped it back into his pocket. Business isn't as easy as you think. With those words, he turned and left. The bell above the door rang softly. Ding. That evening, Martha entered the shop carrying a woven basket filled with fresh herbs. I heard what happened. Ethan looked surprised. The whole village already knows. She laughed gently. News travels fast in a small village. She placed the basket on the counter. These herbs are my way of saying thank you. Ethan looked at the fragrant green leaves. The system activated. Open black lens bracket price appraisal close black lens bracket. Green leaf herb. Quality, excellent. Market value, 3 copper per bundle. Recommended purchase price, 2 copper. Ethan smiled. Martha, I'd like to buy these. Her eyes widened. Buy them. Yes. I can sell useful goods. Maybe I can sell useful herbs too. A smile spread across Martha's face. This is the first time anyone has offered to buy directly from me. They agreed on a fair price. As she left, Ethan looked at the basket of herbs. So this is how it starts. Not just selling, but buying from local people as well. The merchant system chimed. New feature unlocked, local supply network. Current suppliers, 1. Bonus effect, local goods sell for 10% higher profit. Ethan couldn't hide his excitement. This shop isn't just becoming bigger. It's becoming part of the village. Outside, hidden in the darkness across the street, Victor watched the shop with narrowed eyes. So, you're building connections now. He turned to the man standing beside him. Tomorrow, spread the rumor that the cursed shop sells fake goods. If customers won't leave on their own, we'll make them afraid. The man nodded silently. The night grew darker. Unaware of the scheme being prepared against him, Ethan continued organizing the shelves, ready for another day of honest business. Chapter 4 Rumors and Trust. The next morning, Ethan opened the shop before sunrise. The cool breeze carried the scent of fresh herbs from Martha's basket. He carefully arranged them on a small wooden shelf near the entrance. A simple handwritten sign hung above them. Fresh green leaf herbs, locally grown. The bell above the door remained silent. Minutes turned into an hour. Ethan frowned. That's strange. Normally, a few villagers would have stopped by now. Just then, he heard whispers outside. I heard the new shop sells fake goods. My cousin said the soap made someone's hands itch. They say the bread isn't even fresh. Ethan stepped to the doorway. The villagers quickly looked away and continued walking. So the rumors have already started. At that moment, the merchant system appeared. Open black lens bracket, new event, close black lens bracket. Merchant crisis. Someone is spreading false rumors about your shop. Objective: restore customer trust. Reward: reputation increase plus customer loyalty feature. Ethan sighed. So this is another test. Around noon, Martha entered the shop. She looked worried. I've heard what people are saying. Ethan smiled calmly. It's all right. The truth will speak for itself. A young farmer cautiously walked inside. I only need some salt. Ethan handed him a bag. Take a look before you buy. The farmer inspected it carefully. It's cleaner than the salt sold at Victor's store. He paid and left. A few minutes later, he returned, with 3 neighbors. This shop's goods are genuine. Word began spreading through the village. 1 customer became 4. 4 became 10. Soon, the shop was lively once again. The rumors were losing their power. That afternoon, a middle-aged hunter entered carrying a damaged leather backpack. I heard you buy local products. I've got something to sell. He placed 3 rabbit pelts on the counter. The merchant system activated. Open black lens bracket, price appraisal, close black lens bracket. Rabbit pelts. Quality: good. Market value: 5 copper each. Recommended purchase price: 4 copper each. Ethan smiled. I'll buy all 3. The hunter's face lit up. Really? Victor always offers only 2 copper. Ethan counted out 12 copper coins. A fair price for honest work. The hunter accepted with a grateful smile. I'll bring more next week. As he left, another notification appeared. Supplier added. Name: Rowan. Occupation: hunter. Current suppliers: 2. Supply bonus increased. By evening, the cash box was fuller than ever. The merchant system chimed. Congratulations. Merchant crisis cleared. Reputation increased. Current reputation: trusted village shop. New feature unlocked: customer loyalty. Customers with high trust are more likely to return and recommend your shop. Ethan smiled with satisfaction. Trust can't be bought. It has to be earned. Across the village, Victor slammed his fist onto his desk. The rumors failed. His assistant lowered his head. Not only that, people are saying the new shop pays fair prices to local suppliers. Victor's expression darkened. So he's changing the rules of business. He stared toward the Moonlight General Store through the window. Then I'll remind him. This world doesn't reward kindness for long. A cold smile spread across his face. I'll crush him before he becomes a real threat. End of chapter 5.